Now for the latest in our special report on the effects of plastic waste on the world's environment. There's new evidence that even when items like plastic bags degrade, they break up into tiny fragments which attract dangerous chemicals. In effect, they become toxins which enter the food chain. Among the ecosystems affected is Midway Island in the Pacific, home to some of the world's most endangered species. The BBC's David Shukman has travelled over 8,000 miles across 11 time zones to get there. And this is his final report on the damage being caused by plastic.
Midway Lagoon and the spectacular sight of dolphins. They're here to shelter from the open ocean. But look what lies below in these waters. A menacing swirl of plastic that all too readily acts as a trap. The incoming tide pouring in through the reef brings a mass of plastic waste. It's a really hard task to get rid of it, but vital to prevent the dolphins and seals and turtles from dying here.
They might swim by here, they become curious, they want to play in it, especially the young animals, or they might be looking for food that's trapped in here, and then they can become entangled and end up drowning here.
There are millions of tons of plastic drifting through the ocean. Nets, ropes, bottles, packaging and plastic bags. That's the plastic pollution we can see. But the latest research is revealing how there's an invisible threat from plastic pollution as well, that's toxic and long-lasting as all of this plastic breaks down in the water into tiny particles. Plastic waste, like a carrier bag, eventually breaks apart into a mass of fragments. Each one acts as a magnet for toxic chemicals, a tiny poison pill entering the food chain. On the other side of the world from Midway, in Plymouth Harbour, scientists are carrying out the first research into this. This experiment is to see when the plastic fragments. It takes a microscope to reveal just how tiny the plastic particles can be, thinner even than a human hair. And studies at the bottom of barnacles and other creatures show they do ingest exactly the kind of plastic that we throw away.
We know that plastics in the marine environment will accumulate and concentrate toxic chemicals from the surrounding seawater, and you can get concentrations several thousand times greater than in the surrounding seawater on the surface of the plastic. Now there's the potential for those chemicals to be released to marine organisms if they then eat the plastic.
So what do we do? Well, on a Devon beach I met Rebecca Hosking, who was so moved by filming the seabirds dying on Midway that she led a campaign against plastic bags in her hometown of Modbury. She says banning bags is just the start of what's needed.
Please tell me why we need this packaging. Okay, you can recycle it because it's got the triangle, but why do we need it in the first place? It's a plastic torch. And then the one that makes me laugh, which kind of epitomises it, cucumber in plastic. Why do we need a cucumber in plastic?
Back in the Pacific, the wildlife of Midway faces the immediate hazard of plastic. But we're just discovering what it could mean for us. As another huge load is carried away, we know that the seeds of a toxic threat that could last centuries are being sown in our oceans. David Shukman, BBC News, on Midway in the Pacific.